Homeland Security event in Delhi when we were both speakers at the FICCI show organized by FICCI, where we spoke on Homeland Security. So my name is Gautam Goradia, and I am CEO and MD of Hyderabad Software. We are a technology company. And I'm going to speak, I'll try and do this in 10 minutes because we are running behind schedule. My talk today is more about a philosophy. And the philosophy is very simple. All the people here, ladies, gentlemen, are in some way are connected with CCTV cameras. Part of the work that you do is CCTV cameras. I have one very basic question. What does a CCTV camera do? Very basic question. Anybody can answer it. It brings video feed. That's what it's supposed to do. That's what it does beautifully. And that's its job. So whether it's a CCTV camera made by company A, company B, company C, company D, eventually it's a video feed, and they're all great companies. So we have some 3-4 companies here. They're all very nice companies, great companies, but they bring video feed. And I believe that video feed contains a lot of information that is going waste. And while I agree with Rameshji about the fact that the future lies in algorithms and so on and so forth, I think that there is one algorithm that everybody seems to forget, especially in today's times. Because let's remember one thing, that algorithms will not come cheap. Algorithms will come with a lot of baggage. We have to remember one thing, that a company that is invested, or an establishment, that could be a bank, a school, a jeweler, that is invested in analog cameras or even IP cameras, are not going to change those cameras because there's a new algorithm that's coming. These cameras have a certain shelf life. In 5 years, nobody wants to simply change cameras. Nobody wants to do that. So these things become useful when there is a need for it. So a typical jeweler, correct me if I'm wrong, sir, you're a policeman. A typical jeweler who may have 16 cameras, 32 cameras and so on and so forth, is not likely to have the need for facial recognition. Very difficult. It's great to have, but it's very, very difficult. I'll just give you one simple example. This is the first time that I'm meeting, I will be interacting with 100 people here in this room. How are we to have facial recognition of faces for which I have no database? For any facial recognition system to work, the basis is a database. And faces keep on and will keep on changing. The Indian police system itself doesn't have such a large database. There's no database in the world that's available that can recognize anybody. And please remember, statistics and research show that the human face changes every 4 months. So you're very right about saying that they've reached a certain stage, but there is a lot of time that we will eventually need to get something that will work real time. It's almost an impossible feature. I may sound pessimistic, but that's a fact. We are all talking about SMS alerts and so on and so forth, and we're all talking about real-time surveillance and etc., etc. But the one algorithm and the one analytics that the industry has forgotten, unfortunately, is the human analytics. Between your 2 ears, the brains that God gave you and the eyes that God gave you, there is no analytics that's better than the human mind. Please remember that. I'll give you a simple example. at the border between India and its neighbor, in pitch darkness, when you have heat sensing cameras sensing that there seems to be an intrusion of enemy coming into our territory, it's the man behind the gun who decides whether he needs to fire the shot. It could be that if he doesn't take a proper decision, he might just kill an Indian soldier. So therefore, the moral of the story is that the human mind needs to be used in reference to CCTV cameras. So I'm sure that when you go through the next slides that I begin to talk about, each one of your customers has faced all of these problems that I'm going to talk about. All of them, I can guarantee. And as somebody from the police force, I'm sure that he comes across this on a daily basis. So if CCTV is enough, and there are some companies that say CCTV, we've got CCTV and you're being watched and so on and so forth. But if CCTV is enough, tell me, how did this case happen? So most of you know about this case where our minister went to a store in Goa and she realized that she was being filmed in a changing room. Now there was nothing wrong with the camera. There was nothing wrong with the position of the camera. But the perpetrator of the crime, and as you will see in the next slide, the perpetrator of the crime simply changed the position of the lens of the camera. And Mr. Kashyap, who's the SP of Goa Police, when they concluded their investigation, they said, and when they looked at the footage, and luckily the footage was available, luckily, it was available. So the perpetrator was not smart enough to delete the footage, which he could have very easily done. Because what does it take to delete footage? Just open up 4 screws on a DVR, take away the hard disk, put a new hard disk, footage gone. It's as simple. So, for the last 1 year, this was not being monitored. Nobody was checking the CCTV, which is the problem with this industry. Nobody checks CCTV until something goes wrong. So they are actually waiting for something to go wrong. And because something has not gone wrong, does not mean that it is not going wrong. It's just that it is not being reported or it's not being noticed. But in this case, guess who becomes responsible? The employee will go to jail, but who is the person who gets responsible? Is the management, the managing director, the chairman of the company. Who is the one who loses the credentials of that organization? A large name that you made for yourself is suddenly lost because you did not bother to check your CCTV footage. In this case, this was a petroleum ministry espionage problem in Delhi, happened 3 or 4 months ago. In this case, the CCTV camera operator himself was involved, probably bribed. And he used to put off the CCTV cameras every night whenever they used to come in. They used to take photocopies, put them on again, and nobody realized anything. Why? Because the cameras were not working. We had a very sad incident in Mumbai at a police station where one police inspector shot another police inspector, again covered by CCTV. But when the police tried to find out what happened, they realized that the camera itself was not working. So moral of the story that I'm trying to build is that CCTV by itself is not enough. It's a starting point. You need to do a lot more. In a case at a very, very prestigious school in Mumbai, they have about 60-70 cameras. A child was molested, and we've been seeing all these molestation cases in schools where this either the school teacher or somebody, school principal, not principal, excuse me, but somebody from the staff is actually involved. What are the parents demanding? Because they could not find the footage. The recorder was showing that it was working. So every recorder has a light. So it was showing that it was working, but when they tried to find the footage, it was blank. And what are parents now demanding? They are saying, we want CCTV to be checked every day. But it's not easy to check CCTV every day. If you've got 60, 70 cameras, how are you going to check it every day? Very difficult. But there is a solution. In this case, at a railway station, there was a child abduction case. They found the footage. In this case, they found the footage. But they could not find any information out of that footage. Guess why? Because the camera was dirty. So if you're not going to maintain your camera, just clean your camera, what sense does it make to put the camera at all? And how do you realize that the camera is dirty? You check that from time to time. Because not all cameras will send you an alert and send you an SMS saying, hey, I'm dirty, come and clean me. They're not going to do that. It's not going to happen. You have to bring a human intervention. And that human intervention should be easy, should be efficient, and should be quick and cost effective. In this case, at a hospital, 2 or 3 nurses came in, 2 or 3 women came in the guise, in the clothes of a nurse, stole a baby and went away. Now, do you think that anybody who is committing a crime which is as serious as this one will take the risk of getting caught? Absolutely not. Which means that they would have conducted a recce over and over and over and again and must have found some safe time to commit the crime. But because nobody was watching, nobody realized that this is not our staff member. Nobody realized. Last example, again to prove my same point. This was a case of a jeweler in Mumbai. The perpetrators, a plumber and an electrician, they came to the jeweler, had lunch with him, killed him, stole jewelry worth 13 lakh of rupees and ran away with the hard disk. So how often do you get cases like this where people run away with the hard disk? Now if you're going to run away with the hard disk, okay, it's nice that, it was not meant to be a joke. But this is the fact of the matter. So I saw some people laughing there. But what is behind that laugh? Behind that laugh is a certain amount of sadness. That in spite of the fact that we've got all these cameras, in spite of the fact that we are selling these so-called solutions to our customers, what are our customers actually achieving out of it? Robbers flee with ATM in Kharki Daula. This was an entire ATM taken away by the thieves, 200 meters away from a police station. These guys knew that the camera was not working. Moral of the story, a recce was conducted. Everybody knows about Peshawar, what happened in Peshawar. Nobody wants it to ever happen again. And this Peshawar has got nothing to do with CCTV. Because the next slide will tell you that when the school reopened after 2.5, 3 months, they had to bring in the Pakistan army, part of the Pakistan army, soldiers, to guard this school. My question is, for how long can you have the army guarding a school? When the incident happened in Paris, they brought in 10,000 policemen, sir, 10,000, for only 700 Jewish schools. 10,000 policemen, बाकी सब काम छोड़ दिया, कहो अभी आके स्कूल को प्रोटेक्ट करो. इंडिया में 15 लाख स्कूल्स हैं. पुलिस कितनी? प्रोटेक्शन कैसे होगा? पेशावर के बाद गवर्नमेंट ने एक रूल बनाया स्कूल्स के लिए कि आपको सब जगह में सीसीटीवी बढ़ा देना पड़ेगा, गार्ड्स और डाल देने पड़ेंगे, विजुअल एंटी सैबोटाज चेक करना पड़ेगा हर स्कूल का सुबह में. कोई मुझे बता सकता है? विजुअल एंटी सैबोटाज चेक एक्सेप्ट यू का मतलब क्या होता है? देखिए, एक भी हाथ ऊपर नहीं. और आजकल की स्कूल जो बड़ी स्कूल्स है, 5 एकड़ 6 एकड़ 8 एकड़ की स्कूल्स होती है, कौन सा गार्ड जाके ढूंढ सकता है कि यहां पर एक बॉम्ब है या नहीं? इम्पॉसिबल. जो रमेश जी ने कहा अबाउट द फैक्ट दैट when you have more than 100 people, the footfalls, you have to have certain amount of security measures. Maharashtra is coming up exactly on the lines of the Andhra Pradesh Internal Security Act, and the police is saying now that we cannot do everything ourselves. You have also to be responsible for your own security. ये एक साथ मिलकर चलना है. पुलिस अकेला नहीं काम कर सकते. पुलिस सिर्फ उसी टाइम पे करेगी जब क्राइम होगा. मगर क्राइम को प्रिवेंट कीजिए. अगर क्राइम को आप लोगों ने प्रिवेंट कर दिया तो क्राइम ही नहीं होगा. और अगर क्राइम प्रिवेंशन में सब लोग जुड़ जाएंगे तो पुलिस का काम कम हो जाएगा, उनका बर्डन कम हो जाएगा. So moral of the story क्या है? Moral of the story is that CCTV by itself is not enough. आपको सिर्फ 3 चीज करनी है. आपको डेली सीसीटीवी रिव्यू करना है. रोज 24 घंटे का सीसीटीवी आपको देखना ही है. आप सोचते होंगे कि कैसे हम देखेंगे, मगर उसके लिए सॉल्यूशन है. आपको बैकअप के तौर पे सीसीटीवी रखना है. बैकअप रखना है सीसीटीवी का, ताकि अगर आपका हार्ड डिस्क चोरी हो गया तो आपको कोई फिक्र नहीं. और इंसिडेंट रिपोर्ट्स आपको बनाने हैं. जहां पर हो सकता है वहां पर इंसिडेंट रिपोर्ट उसको एक स्टैंडर्डाइज फॉर्मेट में बना दीजिए. वहां पर भी पुलिस का काम बहुत आसान हो जाएगा. एक बहुत बेसिक क्वेश्चन आता है कि लोग सीसीटीवी को रिव्यू क्यों नहीं करते. इसलिए रिव्यू नहीं करते हैं क्योंकि 24 घंटे का अगर किसी को डेटा देखना है तो उनको 24 घंटे बैठना पड़ेगा. मगर वही 24 घंटे का डेटा अगर 1 घंटे में किसी ने दिखा दिया, ऐसी टेक्नोलॉजी हो कि 24 घंटे का वेरी एफिशिएंटली आपको 1 घंटे, 1.5 घंटे, 2 घंटे में दिखा दिया, तो आप देखोगे या नहीं देखोगे? जरूर देखोगे. There is technology, that is why we are here. We have this technology over here that works with, it's a pure software which works with all cameras, existing brands, existing NVRs, existing DVRs, cameras that are analog, digital, IP, cameras that have been 5 years old, cameras that will be produced after 5 years. This software is that one piece of software that will work with all CCTV systems and will give you real value out of it. CCTV में से आपको वैल्यू मिलना चाहिए. फाइनली एक छोटी बात से मैं एंड करूंगा कि आप लोगों ने देखा होगा कि वर्ल्ड ने कोई स्टैंडर्डाइजेशन साइनेज में भी नहीं अडॉप्ट किया. अलग अलग प्रकार की साइंस है जो कहती है यहां पर सीसीटीवी सर्वेलेंस है, फिर भी क्राइम होता है. मगर वो साइन को छोड़ के अगर ये साइन आ जाए, वी चेक सीसीटीवी एवरी डे, ये आप अपने एस्टैब्लिशमेंट लगाना शुरू कर दीजिए. आपके पास कैमरा ना भी हो तो ये साइन काफी है, क्योंकि जो बंदा चोरी करने को आएगा उसको तो पता नहीं है कि आपके पास कैमरा है या नहीं है. मगर ये साइन में इतना डेटरेंस है कि सामने वाला 2 बार सोचेगा कि यार अभी तक तो कोई देखता नहीं था, अब लोग देखना शुरू कर दिए हैं. तो अब ये कम्युनिटी एक प्रकार की, अगर सब लोग ने अपना सीसीटीवी चेक करना शुरू कर दिया तो पुलिस के लिए कितनी एक्स्ट्रा आईज हो जाएंगी. देखिए कितने खबरी एक्स्ट्रा हो जाएंगे. और बॉम्बे पुलिस ने बहुत अच्छा इनिशिएटिव शुरू किया है. They are going to schools, sir, and they are training students of 10th grade and onwards and encouraging them that around the schools, if you see there is something wrong, please tell the principal so that the principal can, take up the matter with the local police. So imagine that if everybody who has CCTV cameras, let's say on this main road of Hyderabad, if everybody's got CCTV cameras, which they have, but if everybody starts checking them, crime will automatically come down, because you'll begin to see lots of things. You'll begin to see, 3 o'clock in the morning, why was that car outside my store? For the last 3 days, the car has been coming outside my store. So is he planning something? On the 4th day, you make a call to the police station and tell the police, boss, this car has been coming outside our store for the past 3 days. We think that they are planning something. On the fourth day, the police will be kind enough to give you a CID to wait there, and when these guys come to attack, they're caught. So it's really about crime prevention, it's really about quick solving of crime, and the same software will also help you to generate these kind of lists of whether it's a suspected criminal, whether it's a list of security guards, and so on and so forth. And today I am very happy to announce, and I'll end with this announcement, that in our country we have lots of religions and lots of places of worship, different kinds of religions and different places of worship. And it's a sensitive issue if something happens at a place of worship in our country. So as a social responsibility, what we are doing is, we are offering our technology per se for free to any place of worship. So if any of you have provided cameras or are providing cameras to any place of worship, so let's say Tirupati Balaji or any masjid, any church, any gurudwara, any fire temple, please contact us. We will not charge them a penny for the technology. Of course, there would be certain amount of training and so on and so forth, but the technology as a social responsibility will come free of charge for all places of worship. So with the blessings of the Lord, I conclude my talk here, and I hope I haven't overshot my time. Thank you very much.